I could make a whole nother video about why unsolicited comments about someone's appearance are problematic. I could also make an entirely separate video about how Black women especially are shamed and judged for switching up their hair.
What's good, you guys, and welcome back again on another episode. How are you guys doing today? I really hope you guys are doing great. And if you're joining for the very first time, thank you so much for tuning in, and please do not make it your last time. So smash the subscribe button and turn your bell notification on. I was scrolling through TikTok when I came across this video on TikTok. It was a video of a lady who responded to another person who was complimenting her hair at her workplace. Her response to the person complimenting her hair went viral. Not the actual video going viral, but there was a particular white creator that stitched to her video, and the stitch went viral. And this has sparked some conversation online, because one of the things that I noticed from the stitch from the white guy was the fact that he only played the clip that fit into the narrative that he was going for, which I think is totally wrong if he is truly trying to judge the matter and come for the lady. So this woman posted a video about the compliments she gets at work every time she changes her hair, and those compliments did not sit well with her. From the way she responded, you can tell that she has been getting the same compliments for a very long time, and it just got to a point where she was saying, "No, I'm done. I can't continue like this." Let me play the original video that started this conversation before I now play the stitch of the white guy, because like I said, he removed some part of that video to fit into his narrative.
In the front. Yeah.
Hey, love, how are you?
How are you? She came in with pretty curls. Now she came
Can you please not talk about when I switch up my hair?
I think it's beautiful.
I know, but like as a Black person, to me it feels like a microaggression. I deal with it all the time at work, and you can make that face.
I do the same thing.
I know. I'm just saying, I'm telling you how it makes me feel. Everyone's different, but personally, if you like their hair, pretty hair. You don't have to like clarify that it was different each and every time, because it makes me uncomfortable.
I just like the way you change.
I know this. I'm not looking for any excuses. It's just it makes me uncomfortable.
Okay.
Cool.
That was the video she posted, and I don't know if you guys noticed the tone of the person complimenting her, saying she came here with a different hair. Like there was a particular way she was talking, and this woman responded to her. When she posted that video, this white creator stitched to her video, and this is what this creator has to say about her video.
White people are not allowed to compliment minorities anymore.
Pretty curls. Now she came in.
Can you please not talk about when I switch up my hair?
I think it's beautiful.
I know, but like as a Black person, to me it feels like a microaggression. I deal with it all the time at work, and you can make that face.
I do the same thing.
I know.
Man, it's a hard knock life, but that darn white fragility, I tell you what.
So that was what he has to say about that video, white fragility, like white people are not allowed to, compliment Black people anymore. He was trying to make a point that white people get bashed for actually complimenting Black people. Since the stitch went viral, people have been stitching to this video. People have several opinions to this video, and I mean several opinions coming from white people and Black people as well. And I would like you guys to see what the people are saying about this video.
White people are not allowed to compliment minorities anymore.
Pretty curls. Now she came in.
Can you please not talk about when I switch up my hair? I know, but like as a Black person, to me it feels like a microaggression.
I've seen a lot of people misinterpret this woman's video because she's not saying that white people can never compliment people of color. She's saying that certain comments, even if they sound complimentary, sometimes have racist undertones. If you watch the whole video, she makes it very clear that she's accepting the compliment and appreciates it, but doesn't like the way that this other, presumably white person, is phrasing it.
I'm just saying, I'm telling you how it makes me feel. Everyone's different, but personally, if you like their hair, pretty hair. You don't have to like clarify that it was different each and every time, because it makes me uncomfortable.
What made her uncomfortable wasn't the compliment, it was the specificity of the comment about how she changed her hair up, which is something that a lot of Black women do. So to have that constantly commented on feels like it has racial undertones to it. It reminds me of when people encounter me and it's like the first time they've met a gay person and they're like, "Yas, queen, slay, you look sickening, sis, go off, do you like RuPaul?" And those comments might seem very harmless and positive, and some gay people might take no offense to them, but for me, constantly hearing those phrases is like, okay, I get it, I'm gay, thank you for your support, you don't have to yas queen me every time I walk into a room. I once met a woman who within 2 minutes of talking to her asked me whether I was a top or a bottom, and for some people they might think, that's just a question, isn't she allowed to ask that? Straight people can't ask gay people anything anymore. You can ask questions, but not within 2 minutes of meeting someone and asking a very personal, invasive question. Videos like this are putting white fragility over Black people's feelings. acting like white people can't compliment people of color based off one video. The creator even said in that video, "This is how I feel, everyone feels differently." She interpreted that encounter as a microaggression. Some other black women might not have, but we have to acknowledge that that is how she felt and that's what she was sharing. She wasn't making some grand statement about all white people and their relations with black people. She was just sharing a personal moment of strength and setting boundaries for herself, and I commend her for that.
It feels like a microaggression. I deal with it all the time at work, and you can make that face.
Man, it's a hard knock life, but that darn white fragility, I tell you what.
Yes, that darn white fragility, as you demonstrated by making this video. This whole video screams of white fragility. Placing a white person's right to compliment someone else just because it makes them feel good over a black person's feelings, that is peak white fragility. A compliment is designed to make the other person feel good, not to make you feel good because you're being nice to someone else. Complimenting someone else is about making that person feel good and flattering them, not about yourself and making yourself feel good because, oh, you were nice to someone else. We don't get to dictate how someone else receives our compliments, and if they don't take it in the way that we intended, maybe we have to reword it, and that's all that this woman was advocating for.
Let's talk about the situation that was labeled a microaggression.
Love, how are you?
She came in with pretty curls. Now she
Can you please not talk about when I switch up my hair?
I think it's beautiful.
I know, but like as a black person, to me it feels like a microaggression. I deal with it all the time at work, and you can make that face.
The same thing.
I know. I'm just saying, I'm telling you how it makes me feel. Everyone's different, but personally, if you like their pretty hair, you don't have to like clarify that it was different each and every time because it makes me uncomfortable.
I just like the way you
I know this. I'm not looking for any excuses. It's just it makes me uncomfortable. Cool.
Now, just to be clear, this girl is well within her right to not feel comfortable having people make certain comments about her body or her appearance. Everybody has aspects of their being that they may be uncomfortable with or just don't want people calling a lot of attention to, so it's okay to ask people to stop. But we gotta be self-aware and realize that if somebody calls out something that we're uncomfortable about and they do it in a complimentary way, we can't just accuse them of malicious intent because we're insecure about it. If someone is just stating the obvious by calling out your frequent hairstyle change and even complimenting it by referring to it as pretty curls, you can't just label it a microaggression because you're uncomfortable with it. Now, I understand that the subject of hair can be a pain point for black women because they may feel pressure to uphold a certain beauty standard with their hair, which may lead them to wear wigs of different styles instead of just wearing out their natural hair. I'm not at all denying the existence of that pressure or invalidating the insecurity that may exist because of that pressure. But it seems like this is a situation where the girl isn't fully aware of her own insecurity, but she does feel negative feelings about the encounter. So instead of looking inward and asking herself, why do I feel negative about that, she instead casts blame on someone who didn't really do anything wrong. Now, my assumption is that the security guard was a white person, and with that, you can probably assume that they're not too familiar with the black female experience when it comes to hair. And considering the fact that she gave a compliment and felt so comfortable doing so, it's more wise to assume that she was trying to give a nice gesture. She just did it poorly given the context. Now, like I said, the girl is well within her right to feel uncomfortable about certain remarks and ask for them to stop. But in these situations, it's just better to assume ignorance than it is to assume malicious intent from people, so nothing has to escalate. And it's better to be hyper aware of your own insecurities and pain points, so when situations like this happen, you don't automatically accuse the other person of committing a microaggression.
Love, how are you?
She came in with pretty curls. Now she coming
Can
in
you
with...
please not talk about when I switch up my hair?
I think it's beautiful.
I know, but like as a black person, to me it feels like a microaggression. I feel like there's pretty hair. You don't have to like clarify that it was different each and every time because it makes me uncomfortable.
I just like the way you
I know this. I'm not looking for any excuses. It's just it makes me uncomfortable. Cool.
I think we messed up big time when we gave random citizens the term microaggressions, because now microaggressions can be whatever you want them to be. Now, I think everybody's entitled to not wanting to receive compliments from outside forces, and the people giving those compliments aren't entitled to positive reciprocation of those compliments. But for her to make this situation about being black is insane to me. Now, I don't know these people, but based off of this video alone, this encounter had absolutely zero racist back into it. Now, I think it's one thing if you're attempting to educate somebody, I guess, but it's more so about her condescending tone and harsh demeanor, as if that security guard's intent was to be racist or call out her blackness. That's like somebody telling me, you sure do switch up your do-rag colors a lot. I don't know, I like the variety. And then I say, who the hell do you think you're talking to? With these kinds of people, I will play the hypocrisy game all day. These are not the same kinds of people that would confront somebody for saying, oh yeah, this one got some seasoning. Oh, this one got some soul. This one got some rhythm. I don't know. It's like, was your goal to get that security guard to never ever compliment another black woman ever again, simply out of fear? Because if so, you might have succeeded. I think common sense would say that that's causing way more divide than unity. And over a compliment is crazy.
Hi friends, I want you to look at something and then we're going to talk about it.
White people are not allowed to compliment minorities anymore.
A pretty girl now.
Can you please not talk about when I switch up my hair?
I think it's beautiful.
I know, but like as a black person, to me it feels like a microaggression. I deal with it all the time at work, and you can make that face. I know.
Man, it's a hard knock life, but that darn white fragility, I tell you what.
All right, so his claim is that white people cannot compliment minorities anymore. But that wasn't the entire clip, was it, Victor? You didn't play the entire clip. So let's take a look, shall we?
In the front. Yeah.
Hello, how are you?
She came in with pretty curls. Now she coming
Can
in
you
with...
please not talk about when I switch up my hair?
I think it's beautiful.
I know, but like as a black person, to me it feels like a microaggression. I deal with it all the time at work, and you can make that face. I know. I'm just saying, I'm telling you how it makes me feel. Everyone's different, but personally, if you like theirs, pretty hair. You don't have to like clarify that it was different each and every time, because it makes me uncomfortable.
I just like the way you change.
I know I'm not looking for any excuses. It's just it makes me uncomfortable.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, that tells a completely different story than the one that you represented in your video, doesn't it, Victor? Now, if he hadn't cherry-picked a few seconds of that clip, when in its entirety was like 40 seconds or something like that, then his audience would have known that she wasn't taking issue with someone thinking her hair was pretty. She was taking issue with someone offering her unsolicited comments about the frequency at which she switches up her hair. Notice that he cut off everything in her video prior to the person saying pretty curls. Now, I could make a whole nother video about why unsolicited comments about someone's appearance are problematic. I could also make an entirely separate video about how black women especially are shamed and judged for switching up their hair, going from braids to curls to straight hair or rocking their natural texture. But that's not the focus of this video. The focus of this video is that Victor here consciously misrepresented the situation to cater to his racist fan base. The security guard actually said, see, she came in with pretty curl, and now she comes in with fill in the blank. That's not a compliment. It appeared that the security guard was pointing out to someone off screen that essentially this black woman went out of the building looking one way and came back into the building looking another. They only complimented her after she asked them not to comment about when she changes her hair. So just to be clear, the black woman was asking the security guard not to make comments about when she switches up her hair because it makes her uncomfortable. That's a completely valid and reasonable thing to ask someone. And she even did it nicely. And she is still labeled by white people as any of the racist tropes about black women that were difficult, that were bossy, that were extra, that were aggressive, that were non-compliant, or that were rude. This black woman was simply asking a stranger not to comment on her appearance. The fact that people want to act like that's an unreasonable request is just wild. And also, I want to point out that people in Victor's comment section were making a big deal about how she had her phone out ready to record. Yeah, that's because clearly this was not her first time being verbally accosted by this person. And she has every right to record a situation that makes her uncomfortable. She was actually gracious enough to extend to the security guard the courtesy of privacy. She didn't have to do that. So yeah, that wasn't the entire clip. He cherry-picked a very small portion to make it appear like a black woman was throwing a fit that someone complimented her hair. And he knew, and now we all know, wasn't the entire story. Context matters, and when someone takes something completely out of context and willfully misrepresents it to their audience to fit their narrative, that is a lie. So now, just for fun, I'm going to take a page out of my friend JJ's playbook and ask that in the next 24 hours, Mr. Victor here shows his audience the entire clip and admits that he misrepresented what was happening in that video for likes and views and to pander to his racist audience. Since he represents himself as a follower of Christ, given that his bio says Christ is king, he should have no problem with confessing his lies. That's all for now. Stay petty, stay curious, friends.
My hair. I know, but
I feel so bad for the woman that she recorded and put on blast to the entire world for simply trying to make someone feel better about themselves. Someone that's naturally shy and struggles a lot with trying to bring myself to compliment someone when I want to. I know complimenting someone takes a lot of courage and confidence. And the fact that you have to nitpick the way she complimented you just says a lot about you more than her. I don't think there was anything wrong with the way she complimented you. Everyone is different, and you can tell that this woman, her compliment was genuine because she actually paid attention to detail, and she wants you to know that she notices that you put effort into your hair, to your beauty. Her entire attitude just gives me Regina George vibes. Like, don't talk to me, you're a peasant, you're not worthy to compliment me, ew. You can call it boundaries all you want, but at the end of the day, you just come off as rude and a female dog. There are real problems in this world, and trying to bring down someone that is trying to uplift you is probably the least you need to worry about. Like, let's be for real. I really hope you self-reflect and you apologize to this woman, because the way you come across is just plain rude. We all know that curly hair takes time, maintenance, and money. And shit, I would appreciate a compliment. But you know, there's some girls that are like you and they're just rude and they don't want to compliment because they think they're better than everyone else. Props to that security guard, because she is 100% a better person than me. Because if you were to turn around and tell me that shit, not only would I take back my compliment, but I would humble you so hard. As a human being, please do better.
here, you don't have to like clarify that it was different each and every time, because it makes me uncomfortable.
And a lot of people may not agree with what she said, but I totally get it. That's part of the reason why I never got into wigs and weaves, because I feel like every time I would change my hair, somebody would say something about it. When I was working, and you know, it's like I appreciate the compliment, but like you don't have to say any, like, I know I changed my hair. Just say it's pretty, like, but you don't have to like go on and on about every time I see your hair is different. Like, I'm a black woman. That's how it can be. But it used to make me feel so uncomfortable to the point where it was just like, if I wore a wig one day or a couple days and then I wore my natural hair, like, you don't have to point it out. I know. So that's one reason why I just was like, fuck it, I'm just not going to wear wigs and weaves and call it a day and just deal with it. And I don't have to worry about it at all because I have locks. So I can change it up however the fuck I want to change it up. But yes, kudos to you.
What do you guys think about what all these people said in the stitches? I would like to hear your thoughts. Which side are you on? Do you guys think the woman was doing too much, or do you guys think that she was right with her reaction? Like she said, she had been getting that, and she always gets the comparison. Like this person having to always compare the former one she had with this new one, with in a particular tone and in a certain way that does not sit well with her. You all know the history of black people's hair. Do you think her reaction was justified, or do you think, oh, she was doing too much and she shouldn't have reacted to the person complimenting her that way? Let me hear your thoughts in the comment section. And before you go, please make sure to smash the subscribe button. Make sure your bell notification is constantly turned on, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, and I love you guys.